Hello and welcome to another Flosstube video. My name is Leah and I'm a German girl, so sorry for my heavy accent. I haven't spoken a word English since I finished school in 2011. Today I will show you my work in progress that I've made. It is now February the 23rd. My first work in progress is the Murky Manor from Glendon Place. It is, I don't know which fabric it is, but I guess it's 28 count Jobelin. And the top part is what I showed you in my initial Flosstube video. I have stitched this 10 years ago and I really never stitched on a fabric like this. And it's, I mean, I had really hard tension, so the stitches are uneven and I miscounted sometimes where I just skipped a thread and stitched over 3, and yeah, it's not that pretty. I don't like it this way, so I will have to frog a lot, most of the top part, because I'm scared of that and I want to see if there are some parts that I can keep. I started all over at the bottom, so maybe first I could show you how it should look in the end. This is okay, so I had to make a shortcut and will explain to you what this noise means. We have carnival season in Germany, and where I live in a really small village, somehow today there's, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but there's groups that costume up and they have these marching bands and they celebrate, and many people are drunk. So they are marching almost in front of my window, and there's a party tent 2 blocks away. No, it's 2 houses away actually. So I will have to make some breaks for noise like that. I try to cut out as much as possible, but you know, Saturday is my recording day. I'm alone at home and I have time and I don't want to skip today, so we'll make this work out. Okay, so continue. Okay, so this is how it is supposed to look in the end. And I've started down here. Okay, so I had, let me put it this way, I had this stitched already and I counted downwards from here, so it attaches to the rest of the stitching. So when something's looking okay, I can leave it in and not frog it. So I started down here. This is what I did recently. These are the stairs to the house and some grass and started this pumpkin. I love how the colors come out on this dark fabric. It's so bright, it looks so beautiful and brilliant. And these flosses have been lying around for 10 years and they're still fine. What I love most is the gate. It is stitched in black Krynic And what I like to do when stitching Kreinik is, okay, so I stitch half crosses in black DMC and I stitch over it with the Kreinik with the top leg. In real life it looks fantastic. It looks really like dark iron. I love it so much. Yeah, I want to finish this piece this year. That's my goal. I want it off my list. I have it for so long that it's really fun to stitch. And it's a cool design, but I've had it for so long. I don't want to have it in my stash anymore. I don't want to have it on my WIP list. So, and I want to reduce my WIPs because currently I am at 6 work in progress pieces. And I would love to go back to 3 or 4 at the max. I won't achieve this year, but I hope next year I will be back to a regular WIP size of 3. Okay, so second work in progress is My Heaven and Earth. This is the Story Key Perfect Wisdom. This is how far I got. So this is the full width. I figured out there's a lot of dark blue sky at the top and I am much faster if I stop doing the columns and just go all the way across. Because there's, like, I don't know if you can see, but I have to leave room for the dark brown. And in my head I just count how many blocks and how long. No, I don't count how many blocks, but I count how long the blocks are. Because the room I have to leave is always 1. So when there's 1 block, a 1 block, a 2 block, a 2 block, in my mind I just remember, okay, 1, 1, 2, 2, and then I go and stitch it, and I can remember like 6 blocks, and so it's really fast. It's like the maximum is like 5 stitches at once, and then there's again a one stitch gap, and then there's another block, and so I can go in each row very fast. And I always mark the blocks that I just stitched right away. So this went much faster than the way I did with the 20 by 10 blocks. Well, it's not like by 10 because I just did columns of 20 stitches wide. And I made these pyramid kind of like zigzag edges. So there are no column lines. But they're way too elaborate, they're way too big. So I will make these zigzag lines smaller when I start working in columns again. But for now, the sky goes up until here. I will just do row, 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 row until I'm down here. And then there's like a lighter blue. And then around here, the head of the owl will start. So far I think this, let me take a look on my app. I'm using the timesheet app. It's called in the Android App Store. So you can change your projects. This is German, so but here are the names of the projects I do right now, or I will start eventually, and all you have to do is press start and it starts to count the time, and then I press stop whenever I stop again, and so I can very easily keep track of how long I'm net time stitching on a piece. And then you can see how many hours you put into a project in the end. And I have, so the small part on the bottom of the Haunted Mansion took me 9 hours, and the Heaven and Earth. I didn't even have a page finish. It took me 43 hours. I don't know where all that time went, but this is all I got. I think I would have made a page finish. So it's like it's 43 hours for one page without confetti for me, personally. That's such a long time. I will never do a large Heaven and Earth. I will do minis. I think I can do those. They will take me probably like 2 or 3 years, and that's absolutely enough time to have one project lying around even though you're stitching at it regularly. Also, I won't start a hate anytime soon because I am in the Gecko Rouge Gold Club. Gecko Rouge sell very awesome cross-stitch kits, and they have a club where you pay a set amount every month and you get all the money you paid every month as a gift certificate at the end. And I love this because you get 20% off any purchase during the time you're in the club, and you get sometimes they make special releases, and the release for March is so awesome. I think it will be posted in the Gecko Rouge stitching group, so if you're not yet a member of that, go join. It's great. I want to stitch all the Medusa doll maker kits, like the Gamer. I can put a picture somewhere on top of my face. And I want to stitch this, but I want to do, they have a special in March, as I said, and I want to buy this first, definitely. So I will work on that for a long time, and I will work on the Gamer for a long time, so there will be no other full coverage pieces that I want to start. I only want one full coverage at a time, a large full coverage. I don't want too many because I need finishes. Okay, that's for that. So that was 2 whips, whip number 3. These 3 are my most active whips at the moment. This is the Medieval Town Mandala Chatelaine. I love this so much. I have a video filmed of the start where I explain everything about this and how I got my materials in Germany. And I switched out part of the special threads and I left part of the special threads in. Oh, it's so difficult for me. So this is where I am right now. It's stitched on 32 count and I don't use the Belfast. This is a even weave Monaco. It's called Monaco in white. Because I don't want slobs. I'm a beginner. I don't want an irregular fabric as a beginner. Maybe someday I will try linen, but now it's not the time. I don't want to get frustrated because things are not even, and I'm a perfectionist. Sometimes. So this is the beginning. I love to stitch on this fabric. I was so scared when I saw this. if you haven't tried these kind of fabrics out, this is the comparison. So loud people, I'm sorry. So this is the 25 count blue Lugana. I have forgot to say that, sorry, I'm not used to doing these videos. It's so difficult for my camera to focus. Okay, so this is the 25 count and this is the 32. And when I held it in my hands for the first time, I was so scared. I thought, oh no, I can never see this. I'm sorry, I think you got the idea. But I really gotten used to it. It's a light fabric, so it's always easier to stitch on light fabric. And I only stitched this on blue because I had it as a leftover from my cute little ghost, and it was the perfect size, so I thought, whatever. I had to wait for a week for my new fabric to arrive, the lighter 25 count, and I wanted to start right now, so I had to use the dark blue. It's a little more difficult, but I have a very good daylight lamp, so it's manageable. But I really don't think this is much more difficult to see, because it's over 2, and so the stitches are larger and you get used to it. In the beginning I had to always think about, oh, where do I have to put my needle, but now after like the half of this part, of this little part, I already got used to it and it was absolutely fine. And I have some petite treasure braid right here in this little fountain. And there are some specialty stitches in the flowers, which I had to try right away. I was so curious. I have left these because I want to film a video where I show these, and so I will do these in the special Chatelaine My Journey video. Yeah, that's how far I've come along on there. I had to make a break because I'm waiting for specialty floss. And it takes now like 3 weeks. But then I can work on it and I have plenty to do in between. Okay, so that's WIP number 3. I have my Zelda piece, haven't worked on that. I think I will pause this for now because it's awesome to stitch, but it's on 14 count. And it's not that interesting to me. I want to do the small fabrics and want to explore. And this is something for a time when I don't want anything exciting to stitch and I don't want to have the teeny tiny fabric. I will for sure pick this up again, but now is not the time. It's on pause. And I also set aside the angel. You can't see very much here, a little bit of flowers. I have this on pause too, but I consider it more of a current work in progress. I don't like stitching this. I love the outcome, but it's annoying to stitch, to be honest with you. I will finish it, I will love the outcome, but pressing these 4 thread half crosses on 18 count in between, it's so difficult. I don't know. I don't like it right now, so it's a pause for a long time, but I want to finish it eventually. Oops. And I have the secret small cross stitch. I haven't worked on this also since my last video. I want to gift this, but it will be for Christmas. I have to finish another of these types before Christmas, so I think I will pick this up in summer probably, and then focus on the pieces that I want to gift to people. Okay, so next time I hope you will see more progress on the Haunted Mansion and on my Heaven and Earth. And I hopefully can show you my special Gold Club Gecko Rouge kit, which I am so excited about. Yeah, but yeah, these two are my main focuses right now. Oh, I forgot it again. I've already filmed the German video before this one, and there I forgot too. I think that's something that's good to know. So I have a problem right here, and if you're in the Heaven and Earth group on Facebook, you probably have seen my post, my noob post. I will hide my face behind it and hope you can see it better now. So my floss on this side got fuzzy when I stitched it, and I don't know if you can see it that well on camera, but it's, you know, the finish is very matte and not that shiny as it should be with DMC. No, you really can't see it, and there's like it's very dusty, it looks like, or like it's a woolly floss. So I stitched this part with a 28 count John James needle, and many people love this, but for me, I don't like the look of this. It could be worse, but when I take a close look, I really don't like the finish. So the first time I stitched on 25 count, I used a what is it called? I've had DMC needles in the first time because I thought DMC are quality, but these needles are bad. They rip the threads, and I've heard this from many other people. They shed the floss because like if this is the hole of the needle, I don't know how you call it this in English. They have really sharp edges, so when the thread goes through it, it damages the thread and it eventually even rips. So I threw the DMC needles away. I can't work with those. Now I bought John James needles, and they're a bit better, but I had this problem with the fuzzy thread, and I now switched to a slightly larger needle. I don't know if it's 26 because this is a needle I bought. I never bought it. I have it from a kit and I don't know which size it is, but it's definitely a little bit larger than the 28 count. It is much better, and I also got the advice to cut the threads smaller. My threads are like 18 inches. I measured some, and I think sometimes I even did a little bit more than that. The stitching looks really much better. I think I'm now cutting my thread to around like 11 inches, and I think that's the solution to that. These are 2 tips for you if you're having trouble with the look of the stitching, when the stitching looks a little fuzzy. Cut your floss shorter and use a little larger needle. And the third tip is, someone told me about these magic guide needles, and I always skipped on these. These are the needles, I don't know, it's not magic guide, but probably, maybe, I don't know. Something along those lines. It's a stitching needle with a small ball point on the tip, and this is supposed to find the hole easier because of this ball. It slides right into the hole, and I've heard so much good things about it, but I always searched for it, and it only was from American suppliers and the shipping was like $7, and I'm willing to pay something for those needles, but no, not that much. Now I found out that they are called differently in German, and in the end I will get this Magic Guide needle in the German version soon, and I will try it out, and maybe this is even better than the larger needle I got for this piece. And oh, and another thing, I almost forgot. I haven't translated the video to this yet, but I am sure I will. So this is not a cross-stitch project, but I want to just give you a quick view on what I made on my beaded. It's not even like, it's bead embroidery, like beaded embroidery, correct. Just a quick look. It's really fun. I love it. It's you have to think even less about what you're doing, because I'm stitching one color at a time in any block, and it's like stitching on pre-printed fabric, but the fabric is awesome. I can do this with a 28 stitching needle. I don't even have to have a really sharp point. Yeah, and it's going very well. I had to swap beads because the beads in the kit were too large, but every bead in this kit was a different kind of bead. So I think the person who sold the kit, I bought this kit on eBay. It was already opened but not used, and I only paid €7. So it's absolutely fine for that price. These kits normally cost much more. So all the beads are different sizes and a different brand probably. So I had these in my stash and I switched these out, and these make a lovely lace. Yeah, and I started this orange because I wanted to test every color. And this one I already showed you in my Flosstube video about beaded embroidery. Okay, that's my progress. That's it. That's all I did. I do sometimes diamond painting in between, but not that much. I will not bother you with that in my Flosstube videos. The diamond painting videos will always be separate, so you can tell if you enjoy this topic or not. Okay, that's it. I hope you can understand me. Okay, so this is it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you could understand me and I did manage to speak clearly enough. And I hope you had fun watching this video. I really appreciate if you would write a comment and tell me about your projects and what you think about mine. And I hope I see you in my next video. I really appreciate that you watched until the end. See you next time. Bye bye!